And welcome back to Curtis's Podcast Network. I'm the host of the channel. My name is Curtis Brown, and this is This AFC South Show, episode 186, where we talk all things AFC South. I am the host of That Real Texas Team podcast, so naturally I'm the Texans fan here. With me, as always, my resident co-host, Isaiah, a.k.a. Duval's finest, a.k.a. the Glitter Kitty Conquistador, a.k.a. the source of your mother's wet dreams, and the host of Third and Teal.
Come on, keep them coming. Jeff wasn't here, so I got to be the Mother's Wet Dream host tonight. That's very, very gracious of you. It's good to be back. It's been a terrible season. I've been losing sleep, not because of the team. I sleep like a baby because of the team. I just can't sleep lately, so it's nice to be here.
Insomnia. Down at the bottom right, we've got filling in for Jeff, a regular on the show, Justin, a.k.a. Kingmaker. You can find him across all social media platforms at Kingmaker_DFF. And make sure you go do that. Like, subscribe, notification bell across all those. And check out Unstable as well, where Jeff, Justin, and Alex talk some Colts ball. You know, Justin, how you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good, buddy. Just gotta, we do a lot, and the Colts definitely give us a lot to talk about here recently. So make sure y'all tune in and check that out. It's a good time. You get to see Jeff lose his shit from time to time.
Oh, absolutely.
That's always the price of admission. Down at the bottom left, we got filling in a former host of the Titans Takeaways, friend of the channel, Nashville-based rapper. He's getting into podcasting. He's about to be significantly way more than we can afford.
Nah. Hey,
man,
it's
big money.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back on the show. That was a hell of an intro you gave Isaiah, man. That man almost broke character right there. That's good stuff. But hey, man, just like Kingmaker, man, I and Isaiah, like I've been losing sleep over it to this team. This season has been a nightmare. But it's light at the end of the tunnel. The season's about to be over, so I'm excited.
Hell yeah. Make sure you go check out Titans Takeaways. I think they'll be getting a preview done here pretty soon, but I'm not sure. Like, subscribe, notification bell across all social media platforms. Hop on over to Mayor's YouTube. What's your YouTube handle? Do you remember?
Midtown Boys without the O. This MIDTWNBOYZ. Type that in, you'll find it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, let's talk first about the injuries going into this game. We should know who's in and who's out. Who wants to start off?
I'll go. So this week, we've got a divisional matchup against the Jaguars as far as our injuries. Anthony Richardson is out. So if you think that he's going to run around and do his usual Anthony Richardson stuff, you're wrong. It should be a pretty heavy dose of Mr. One Joe Flacco, former Super Bowl MVP, which apparently that doesn't mean shit anymore. So Josh Downs had a little ankle injury. He's fine though, full participant. Quentin Nelson had another little ankle injury, full participant. He's fine. Michael Pittman, he's been dealing with the back pretty much half the season now. So I wouldn't expect too much out of him, but he was a full participant as well. And other than Buck, DeForest Buckner, Ryan Kelly, Grover Stewart, they're just resting. So if you see like all that stuff, didn't participate, don't worry about that. They're going to play. They've just earned that. They're old men. They're veterans. They've earned that rest day. Other than that, man, we're looking pretty good. Anthony Richardson should be the only one that's out, but I wouldn't expect too much. A lot of playing time from the big guys. Season's over. So,
yeah. It's gotta suck. For the Texans injuries, Danico Autry, Folo Fotokasi, Shaq Mason, and Jeff Okudah are all out. Christian Harris and Jamal Hill are questionable. Getting a lot of other pieces back, and Deontay Johnson's been practicing with the team all week. He'll make his Texans debut this week. That's pretty much it. I mean, the Texans are in a decent spot. They're still trying to figure out some secondary problems, but we'll get there. I've got the Titan stuff already here, so I'll go ahead and get that done. Tyler Boyd is out. Nick Folk, Monty Hooker, Arden Key, Reese, Tajay Spears, Dowell, and Jalen Duncan are all out. And Tony Pollard and Okonkwo are questionable.
I need everybody out, man. I need all hands off deck for this one. You
Off-
know what I mean? I don't need any. Why is anybody playing? I mean, Will Levis can play. I mean, he's going to find a way to screw up the game, so I'm good with him playing. But I mean, why is Calvin Ridley playing? He already got paid. He don't need to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, don't mess
So
up
y'all
that,
needed-
that second overall pick.
Yeah, y'all need a
Right.
Patriots. Y'all need a Patriots win and a loss to us, and y'all have the first pick. Like,
Yeah. Hey,
That's-
I'll take it. I'm down
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter will look real good in a Titan uniform, huh?
Nah, we ain't gonna get Travis Hunter. Nah,
No?
we got to get a quarterback. I know that,
Cam
maybe,
Ward's looking good.
Shador and Cam Ward, maybe they're not the greatest of
I think-
prospects.
I
There's
think
no
Ward's the guy. If you're
there's no
there.
Andrew Luck, there's no Trevor Lawrence this year, but I mean, we got to get somebody. We got to get somebody in there. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think Ward's
Tyler
the guy
Warren-
this year, personally.
I mean, Cam
Yeah.
Ward, he's definitely the best one out of all of them.
Oh yeah,
I could see that, but I also see Shador fitting into a Brian Callahan offense a little bit better than Cam. Cam kind of reminds me. I mean, let me not insult him, but he's very Will Levis like with the hero plays,
Mm.
and I just think that Shador, he just would fit Brian Callahan's offense a little bit better. I'm not gonna be mad at either one. Like, don't get me wrong.
Do you think
But I would
Shador's
prefer
more
Shador.
pro ready than Cam?
Yeah, I would say so. But just
Probably
no,
because of his
I
dad
can't even.
giving him that
I can't
that
even.
knowledge.
I can't even say that. What I would say is, I just think that from at least what I've seen out of the two quarterbacks, I
Mhm.
feel like that Shador would be better for this offense than Cam Ward. I think if Cam Ward went to the Giants or the Raiders or whoever,
Yeah.
he would do just fine. But I
Mm.
think just with this offense, I don't think Cam Ward would be ideal. But I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel about it.
Let me throw this at you real quick. Let's say hypothetically the Titans with their first pick, maybe they trade back a couple spots and then pick like a interior offensive lineman to play right guard or a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good
And then in
linemen,
the-
bro.
And then in the second round, you get Quinn Ewers.
I would prefer Jackson Dart.
Interesting.
I mean, there's not really
forget that.
a bad idea. Like, I mean, you could go get your quarterback, or you could trade back. You can go get, maybe, let's say for instance, you go get your tackle. Maybe go get Campbell from LSU. I think his name's
Yeah.
Will Campbell. Maybe you can get him as a tackle. But in the second round, you can go get you're gonna get Williams from Texas. He's a beast of a right tackle. That's
Oh.
exactly what you need.
Mhm.
Maybe you trade back and you go get Will Campbell from LSU. Then you move Latham to right tackle because that's his actual natural position. You could do that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I
Jackson
think
Dart,
Kelvin
I
Banks will probably be, and I get it, he's a Texas guy, but I think Kelvin
Yeah.
Banks, after the combine, I think he might be the top ranked lineman.
He already is currently.
Yeah. I mean, if we were able to get
top-rated lineman.
Banks,
Perfect.
I'm good with that too. I just prefer the quarterback. I just prefer get the quarterback at number 1 or 2, and then go get Williams, who's a right tackle, who's going to be good in the NFL as well.
Okay.
To solidify that line, go give me a Trey Smith in the free
Yeah.
agency market, and
Yeah.
the offensive line should be where it needs to be.
Well, 26 is supposed to have pretty decent quarterbacks, bro. So let's say you go get your offensive lineman this year, solidify that offensive line, and then you bring in your quarterback. Because I think when they're rebuilding, like, quarterback's usually like your last piece. That and running back are usually like your last pieces. But if generational quarterbacks or just top quarterbacks, you can't pass that up.
Yeah, I
So if
said
they
that
feel
2 years
strongly
ago.
about Cam Ward, then dude, like, you got to take them if that's your
I
guy.
I said that 2 years ago, but we decided that we were going to trade up for Will Levis. So the thing is, we should have did that 2 years ago, and instead of spending capital, we could have used that second round pick to get maybe a right tackle, and then maybe we could have got Latham last year, or maybe we could have got Jayden Daniels as the quarterback at number 7 or
Ooh.
wherever the hell we picked. But no, we decided we were going to be in love with Will Levis, and it turned out to be a wasted draft pick. We could have already fixed the line 2 years ago. So now you've put yourself in a crazy position to where your head coach has to find his quarterback, and it has to be a success. Because the thing is, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, maybe picking next year in a better quarterback draft sounds better, but in Brian Callahan's position and in Rand Carthon's position, they kind of got to find a quarterback.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
if their jobs were not going to be on the line next year, yeah, that sounds like the smarter idea. But when you take a risk and you give up capital to go get a quarterback and it doesn't pan out, then you put yourself in a messed up position. So
How many picks do y'all have in the second round this year?
we only got one, and then we don't have a third because we traded that for L'Jarius Sneed. So we don't have another draft pick until the 4th. We got 2 4s, which is great, but you need but then those are outside the top 100. I think we're picking at 104 and 119, which are relatively earlier draft picks, and we've had success out of 4th and 5th round draft picks recently. But the thing is, it's just they're playing so much catch up that it's just they're gonna have to pick the quarterback first. It'd be better if you could trade back, go get some more capital. Maybe you could get your defensive end like an Abdul Carter too as well. Maybe you could do that.
That'd be
But
nice.
you're not in that position. You're not in the position to really do it. You're gonna have to go maybe get a free agent, or maybe try to hit on somebody in the 4th. Maybe a Landon Jackson falls. I doubt that. He's rated as a 2nd round pick. But maybe you luck up. Maybe you can get Landon Jackson in the 4th, or maybe you can, maybe go get a blue chip that nobody's ever heard of in the 4th. But you need a pass rusher too, because, I mean, Harold Landry is useless. So like you're playing catch up in a lot of areas, and you don't have a lot of time to fix it.
Yeah.
Fair points.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's get into the actual previewing of this week's game, the final game of the season for 3 of the 4 teams in the South. Who wants to go first?
All right.
Yeah, we got a division game, so
We both do.
So
yeah,
everybody.
all four teams are playing each other.
It's gonna be an easy episode. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, knock it out real quick.
Yeah.
So
well,
so I mean, we got what me and Isaiah this week. So the scary thing is the Jags have kind of upset the Colts of recent. We all remember that debacle where Trevor Lawrence has a career game to knock the Colts out of playoff contention. Well, guess what? We're already out, so you can't do that this year.
Yeah, Jeff said he was happy that y'all already got knocked out the week before, so it wasn't us doing it again in the last week of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also, too, what kind of sucks for the Colts is, like, there's honestly, like, there's a reason to lose, and there's like, no reason to win, because if you win, you lose 3 or 4 spots in the draft order. If you lose, you literally only gain 1 spot, but at least you're number 11 or number 12. So, like, it's just such a – I don't know. And I think Jacksonville wins this game personally. I said it on our podcast. Just for some reason the past couple of years, we've had the Colts number, whether it's in Jacksonville or in Indy. And I think that we've kind of seen what Joe Flacco does. Now, with a competent defensive coordinator, we should win this game easy. But we're at Jacksonville, and we have Ryan Nielsen, who's apparently, what we've seen this year, not a competent defensive coordinator. So I would expect to see a lot of just random shit you would never see from an NFL franchise out there on the field on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This one's good, kind of a tough one for me to call because not both teams only have something to lose.
Yeah.
And like, is Doug Peterson going to try and fuck us and lose another pick because he's on his way out and bulky too? Like, I mean, or are they staying? Are they just confident they're going to be here next year and they've got nothing to worry about? I don't know, but I could see us winning this game just because we've had the Colts number. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a crazy game, but I could see Brian Thomas Jr. putting on another big day. Maybe like 27-21 Jacksonville.
27-21.
Yeah, I've got this game close like that, but I've got it the other way just because I think Joe Flacco's going to have that Joe don't give a fuck going on. And he's just going to air the shit out of it because he's really got nothing to lose. And Alec Alec Pierce statistically has been the best deep ball wide receiver in the NFL this year, which I didn't know that until this week and started digging into it. But as far as deep ball, and with Pittman having the back injury, I don't think they're going to be playing him a lot if he's even out there. I mean, at this point, don't mess it up. Just the guys that are going to get fired are going to get fired. So don't go out there and try and showboat and try and win the game that means nothing. I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't want to win, but I want to win.
Because it's the division rival.
Yeah, the only reason I want to win is it's a division game, and I hate the Colts. Like, I hate the Texans, I hate the Colts, I hate the Titans. Always want to win those games, but at the same time, draft capital. But at the same time, like, if Balky's still here, it really doesn't fucking matter where we are.
Yeah,
but if we have somebody,
because I mean, I'd like to go after, like, get a lose this game and get a high enough draft pick to where you can get like a Malachi Starks or something like that. But just fucking Jags, dude, just want to kick their ass.
Malachi Starks is rated the second best safety in the class right now, and he's expected to go like in the 20s. So you could probably definitely get him at 12.
Yeah, for sure. We need it because Brian Thomas Jr., like, we're gonna need somebody like Malachi Starks in the draft, because playing BTJ twice a year and this dude just putting up crazy numbers as a rookie, we're gonna have to do something. I actually don't think that this is gonna be a high scoring game. I think they're both gonna be kind of like playing stalemate, like, oh no, you go, you score. Oh no, you score. But then again, I said that about the Giants too. The Giants didn't have anything to play for. They actually needed to lose, and they fucked that up. So this is going to be a weird one, man. Like, hard to tell, because both teams really need to lose to help their franchises. But then again, Gus Bradley, probably knowing that he's on the way out, is probably going to do the Bill O'Brien thing or the Lovie Smith thing. Sorry, not Bill O'Brien, the Lovie Smith thing, knowing he's going to get fired and just fuck up the draft pick. And then the Doug Peterson might do the same thing. Know he's all on the way out and just fuck up the draft pick.
Yeah, I mean,
that should blackball you from the league. I think when you screw over your franchise, that should blackball you. Like, all right, 2 years out, don't come back.
Yeah, I mean, fucking up the draft pick for us though is still a top 10 pick, so it's not really as big of a deal. But for you guys, that could put y'all, I think, anywhere from like 15 to 20, like, or not 20, but like 15 to 18 or something like that, which would be a big drop.
Yeah, so looking at so CBS put out yesterday their mock draft, and they have the Colts picking at 12 right now, and that's assuming that the Saints still lose and the Jaguars at number 5. So, but we'll definitely have to see how it's going to go.
Yeah. By the way, the over/under on this game was 43.5. The spread is 4 in favor of Indianapolis. What was your score prediction, Justin?
24-21 Colts. And that's only because, like I said, Joe Flacco is just going to air it out. And I don't think Jonathan Taylor, they're going to run him a lot, just because there's no need to risk injury.
Yeah, he's always hurt. I mean, it's better to just keep him.
Yeah, for sure.
Not play him at all.
Right. Let Trey Sermon run it. Just he's
not?
cheap. He's cheap. He means really nothing long term to the franchise. So just let Trey Sermon or Tyler Goodson. There you go, Tyler Goodson. So
is Evan Hull still on the roster?
I don't think so. I haven't.
No, he is. He's just hurt.
Oh, okay. God.
He got put on IR in the preseason.
I thought he came back from that. I guess not.
No. Mayr, what do you think about the Jags Colts game?
I mean, it's pretty much a toss up. I mean, it would benefit both franchises, if they lost. It'd mean more to the Colts, because just like how Isaiah said, they could be at 12 if they lost, and then if they won, they can go back as far as 18. So I just think that at this point, when you're not really playing for anything, both of these franchises have younger players. So give your young guys some work. I mean, I don't see a point of having a Jonathan Taylor out there. I don't see a point of having DeForest Buckner out there. I don't see a purpose of having Alec Pierce. The thing is that about the Colts is, for some kind of reason, they seem to they have injury issues for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. So why don't you just reserve your players that are going to contribute next year Man, just put them on ice. There's no point in them even playing in this game. Same for Jacksonville. You've had
Because they
injury
had that
problems
young
all year.
kid, AD
You said what?
Mitchell. They had that AD Mitchell, but he's been dropping a lot of balls. So,
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm Shane Steichen, I'm like, all right, Pitt, you got the back, chill, bro, right?
right.
And then AD, you go out. Let's see what you got. Go make a name for yourself. Remind us why we drafted you and earn your keep. If not, we're gonna pay Alec Pierce, and you're gonna play out your rookie deal, and you're gonna be fucking out of here.
Yeah, because everybody thought he was going to be a stud, including myself. So
Amazing
he's been a
athlete. I
disappointment.
mean, he did great in college, and then now in the pros is just drop after drop after drop, and it's like, dude, where'd this come from? I don't know if it's just a different quarterback. I mean, let's face it, Anthony Richardson has a stronger arm than Quinn Ewers. I mean, that's just the real of it. But
that's who you need to
don't
draft. Honestly, that just came in my head a couple minutes ago. You should get Quinn. If he comes out, he probably won't come out because he's probably going to go to Oregon and get paid $5 million. But if he did come into the draft, I actually think that'd be a good fit for you. To be honest,
I've got insider information that he's going to Ohio State for the money.
No,
Because he is already seeing Arch Manning is going to be the guy next year.
Oh yeah, there's no way he starts next year.
Yeah, I've got a guy that does like something with UT. It's like a construction guy or whatever like that. So if you got money, put it on Quinn Ewers staying and leaving Texas.
Okay.
And
Makes
word
sense.
is it's Ohio State.
Hey, he got a hell of a wide receiver to throw to. I won't blame him.
Yep.
Yeah, Ohio State puts out some receivers. Them and LSU, man.
It's insane.
Mayr, give me a score prediction for that game.
I'm gonna say so. We got Mac Jones playing. We got Joe Flacco playing. Colts pass defense has been suspect the past couple weeks. I don't see why that would be any different. I'm gonna say Jacksonville 26 and the Colts 21.
Yep. If it was not for Brian Thomas Jr., I'd have us losing this game. But I just think with how terrible the Colts pass defense is and how he did last time, I think he could have a career day.
Do you think they're going to play him most of the game though?
Oh yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. He'll play every rep.
You think that's just Doug Peterson giving the finger to the franchise or what?
He wouldn't be okay with sitting out. Like he's one of those guys. Like he's like hearing him talking and everything. Like he would pitch a fucking fit if they tried to sit him out. Like not in a bad way, but
yeah,
like
but in a competitive sense that he doesn't. He wants to play every snap.
No, he wants to play every snap. Yeah, I mean he's competitive.
Rookie.
Yeah, he's
a rookie, and you got to keep. I mean, I know he's had a great season, but you definitely want to, have him end the season on a good note. I mean, it's one of the few things you can hang your hat on, at least for this season. Not in the future.
He wants to finish in front of Neighbors too. Like as much as he says he doesn't want to, he wants more yards. There ain't no way Neighbors is passing him in touchdowns, but like he wants more yards and everything than Neighbors.
Yeah, because Neighbors got drafted higher, so
because Neighbors was the best wide receiver in the draft in front of him and from the same school, even though he caught 17 touchdowns and all he can do is run go balls and blah blah blah. No, that motherfucker is different, dude. He is so good.
Yeah,
like I don't like Balky, but that was a damn good pick.
Neighbors got like Danny DeVito throwing to him, man. So
I mean, but like I said on our show the other day, like Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones are terrible and busts until someone's comparing it to another quarterback. Like everybody wants to talk shit about how terrible Mac Jones is, about how terrible Trevor Lawrence is, how they're the worst quarterbacks in the league, how Daniel Jones is better. But then as soon as it comes down to, Malik Neighbors has nobody throwing to him. He had Daniel Jones, these other guys. It's like, look, these are the same guys you said were better than him. Like,
no,
but now
who said somebody said Daniel Jones was better than Trevor Lawrence? Who said that?
Because they had similar stats. They had similar stats in their first 4 seasons or 3 seasons, whatever it was. Yeah. So people were like, Daniel Jones did better, this, that, and the other. And it's like, no. You take out their rookie seasons, and Trevor Lawrence is miles ahead of him.
Yeah,
come on. I'm not the biggest fan of Trevor Lawrence. It's not because he plays with Jacksonville. I felt like this when he played for Clemson. It didn't matter who he went to. I was never just I wasn't a big fan of Trevor Lawrence, but Daniel Jones. Okay, that's like really disrespectful to say that Daniel Jones is better than Trevor Lawrence. Like
no, that's all I'm saying. Now, do I think that the quarterbacks for the Giants are worse than Jacksonville's quarterbacks? Absolutely, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, in the NFL world and everybody talking about it and everything, like they're only good or better than other quarterbacks when they're being compared to other quarterbacks.
Yeah,
like it's
but they're much better than the Giants.
But Neighbors also has what 30 more catches. It's like whether they're worse or not, he's got 30 more catches and just can't do as much with it.
Yeah, but who else
with
are they
more
going to throw
separation.
to on that team? I mean, Neighbors is it. You know?
But he's got more separation, so he should be getting more yards.
I still got Darius Slayton.
I mean, he's averaging 10 yards a catch.
The receiver can't throw themselves the ball, and that's just the sad truth of it. You can put Jamar Chase on the Giants, and he's not going to have the same numbers as Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow.
Look, it's not the Giants' fault that they didn't start Big Cock Lock the entire time.
Yeah, okay? Dude. Everybody wants to act like Drew Lock wasn't that fucking dude in college and set the passing TDs touchdown record for the SEC and all that. Like,
he had good games with the Broncos too.
Dude,
let's not
the Broncos did him dirty.
He showed moments of greatness there. I mean, okay, greatness is pushing it, but he showed signs of goodness.
Yeah. Didn't he win a game? Didn't he win a game with the Seahawks last year too?
Yeah. And the Broncos. Several games with the Broncos.
Yeah,
he torched the Texans one year where we were really good.
Yeah, I think he just wasn't Sean Payton's guy. You know, when they brought Sean Payton in, it's like he was there. It's okay. You're not my pick. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we see that all the time. You know, like players that they want to get their guy or somebody they like, and then whoever the top pick.
No,
now
he was gone whenever Sean Payton got there.
Yeah, he was gone.
No, he was already good. It's Wilson trade.
He was part of the Wilson trade.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
That was the year before. He was with the Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I never understood the Broncos thing either because they drafted Albert Okwuegbunam, his number one guy at Missouri. So it's like, why didn't y'all drop more plays for these two? They have that relationship. Like you see it with Trevor Lawrence and ETN. Like they have that relationship.
He's athletic. He's like 6'5", 250 and ran like a fucking 4.5 or 4.4 something.
Right. He was highly touted coming out in the pros. I mean, I never understood that.
A lot. And I think he was in Seattle last time I think I saw his name actually.
Who? Albert Okwuegbunam? He's been a free agent for a year or two now.
Oh, so the last time I checked up on him.
That's insane.
And he may have been one of those victims of tight ends because we see it all the time. A great tight end in college comes out and they don't really start doing well until year 4 or 5. He may have just been one of them and they just didn't want to wait. You know, because it's how the league is, man. It's a what have you done for me lately kind of thing. They need that satisfaction today.
Yep.
It's true.
All right. Well, look, let's pivot here. Let's talk about the other AFC South matchup. Houston traveling to Tennessee, where Tennessee's still a 1.5 point favorite and a 36.5 point over-under. That is incredibly low.
It's lower than our game.
I get it. I get it.
That is insane. Mayr, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's going to be short and sweet. We need to lose. We've got the quarterback to lose. We've got the offensive line to lose. We have got the secondary to lose. We don't get any pass rush. So I don't want to go to the game Sunday where it's freezing cold and these guys have the game of their lives. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Jeffrey Simmons getting pressure. I don't want to see Harold Landry getting pressure. I don't, look, I know Tony Pollard is playing. Yeah, let's get him to 1,000 yards so he can get his bonus. All that shit's cute. That's great. But don't be out here scoring touchdowns. All right. I need missed field goals. I need special teams, blunders, everything that has happened throughout the whole year. I need a combination of it Sunday. We're going to be in the Oilers uniforms. They look great. Okay. I need all the bad shit to happen in the Oilers uniforms.
Every time.
That's it. That's what I need to happen. The Texans, y'all on a 2-game losing streak. This need to be y'all get back game. Okay, y'all gonna kick our asses. You're gonna go in the wild card. You're probably gonna lose because you're not playing that well. But at least you can win this week. So I want to see Levis play decently enough to where maybe we can get a 6th-round pick off of him in the offseason. Maybe he can throw 1 touchdown. I need 1 touchdown. And I need 1 pick 6. That's what I need. No more than that.
Basically neutralize his presence.
Is it? I just need him to do well enough to where maybe the Rams, maybe they're looking for a Matthew Stafford replacement in a year or two. Maybe the Rams give us a 5th or a 6th for him to maybe they're like, maybe we can work with this guy after Stafford leaves. Maybe we can put Will Levis in. Because, to be honest, guys, he looks the part as a quarterback. He's got a strong arm. He's a meathead. You just feel like that, man, maybe if I can just kind of groom him a little bit, maybe he'd be all right. That's what we thought. We thought, okay, when he came out of Kentucky, let him sit for a while, maybe under Ryan Tannehill, maybe we can groom him, he'll be okay. Well, turned out that wasn't the case. So send his ass off somewhere else. Let's get a new quarterback in here, whether that's Shador or whether that's Cam Ward, and let's move on. Let's go out here with these Oilers uniforms. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have a good time as long as we lose.
I think, well, with Will Levis, I think the biggest thing with him is he had that huge ego coming out of college.
Yeah.
And now he sees, like, okay, the pros are a little different, and he looks a little trashy. I think now it kind of is going to bring him back down, so that way you can build him back up in the NFL ways. But I'm with you. Like, trade him to another team behind a vet like Stafford could help. Stafford be like, hey, let me tell you how the real is around here in this league.
He might be good with somebody else. It would not surprise me if maybe he could be like a Geno Smith, or maybe he could be, like a Sam Darnold from this year. Maybe with another team. I just don't feel like that this particular offense just fits him. But I could see maybe a Sean McVay doing wonders with him. The only thing that I'm scared about, guys, is when he was in them or these Oiler uniforms last year, Zach scored 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I don't
he
need
did.
that to
He went
happen this
off.
year. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If he goes out there and he scores 4 touchdowns, we might have to wear those Oiler uniforms every game and keep Will Levis.
Just keep him and wear him every game.
That's what I said. I know that would piss people in Houston, Texas off. Hey, look, we like doing that up here. But the thing is, if he comes out there and does that same thing, we might have to change our name to the Oilers, and we might have to keep Will Levis if he does the same thing. I pray to God that doesn't happen.
Did he start the game against Houston in Nashville last year? Like the last time y'all wore the Oilers jerseys against us?
I'm
because the first time he wore the Oilers jersey was his first start against the Falcons, and that's where he threw all the touchdowns.
I think the last I would have to go back and check, but I want to say Ryan Tannehill played that game, but I might be wrong.
Yeah. I can't remember because the score was low. It was like we had Case Keenum in. Like it was a boring game. Yeah. I think we ended up winning like 19-16 in overtime.
I was there, but I don't really remember much about that game.
Was that week 15 last year?
Yeah. I don't remember much. Yeah. I think Will Levis might have got hurt, man. Like if he played, he got hurt because I remember Ryan Tannehill played in the last game last year, and I think that was played y'all last year. That was at the tail end of the season.
It was week 17. I think we played you guys.
I think he got hurt because there was no reason for Ryan Tannehill to start the next game. So I think that if Will Levis did play, he got hurt during it.
Wait, I'm trying to think here. Because that game that was immediately following the Browns game was the first time Case Keenum started.
Mm-hmm.
And we got annihilated. And then you guys wore the Oilers thing. I feel like we played the Colts the last game of the season last year.
You did.
So I think that was like week 15 or 16.
So
I don't remember, man. I'll have to go look. I have to go look.
He played the last December 31st was at Houston, and then he had a game between then, and then there was Houston versus Houston on December 17th. So there was week 15 and week 17 that he played against Houston. And so week 15 is when they had the Oilers uniforms, and that was a home game in Tennessee. Yeah, they won in overtime 19-16.
There we go. Yeah,
and that's 11 through 200 yards for no touchdowns and one. Yeah, so he didn't do good.
You might be safe then, Mayr.
Yeah, we might be good just because it's it's Houston but I'll be honest, like when we played Houston this year, I know he threw the pick six, but honestly I think that was his best game of the year besides that one throw.
It was.
I thought he
played definitely his best game of the year.
Yeah.
And he was just annihilated the entire first half. And it still didn't phase him at all.
Yep. When we won that game, which I didn't want to win that game either. But I was saying I thought he kept his job. Honestly, I said, you know what? I'm good with Will Levis coming back next year. I think it was his third or fourth game in a row where he played pretty decent. I said, honestly, this ain't the greatest quarterback class. We might be able to keep him. Then the Bengals coming to town, and then he turns the ball over 4 times in 5 possessions. And this is like, yeah, no, get this guy out of here.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, hit me with the score prediction then, Mayr.
I'm going to say Texans, because you're going to start off the game hot. I'm going to say Texans 24, Titans 14. I think Tony Pollard gets a touchdown. I think Will Levis throws a touchdown, but he screws it up late, maybe going down the field to maybe win the game, and you guys get a pick six, and it's a 10-point game.
Okay. Justin?
So, man, I think the Texans are just gonna beat that ass.
I hope so. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a score. I just hope the Texans win. Because I think this could be like a good momentum, like for CJ Stroud, because he's had he's not had a great season. 12 interceptions so far in the season. I mean, I see Stroud throwing for 2 and Mixon maybe getting 1, a couple field goals. So let's call it 24 to like 13 Tennessee. 24 Houston, 13 Tennessee.
Gotcha. All right, Isaiah.
Yeah, I think both teams suck. Doesn't really matter.
Everybody in here sucks.
It doesn't really matter who wins this game, honestly, because Houston's still going to the playoffs and Tennessee's still picking like top 6, top 5. Now, would it be good for Tennessee to lose this game? Absolutely. Do I want them to lose this game? Absolutely, because I would love to see them set themselves back another 10 years by picking Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. But yeah, I just think it's going to be an interesting game. I do think that Houston edges this one out, but I could see a situation where Will Levis plays like his life depends on it and throws a couple TDs and tries to make himself look good because he knows he might not be in a Titans uniform next year. Yeah. And he wouldn't be the first quarterback they've drafted in the second round to be off the team in a year or two after being drafted. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think Houston takes this game probably like 24-17. I don't really think it's going to be too crazy high scoring.
Okay. As a Texans fan, I need this game to work like a college tune-up game. That's what I need this game to be.
Yeah, get ready for the playoffs.
Exactly. I don't want the starters to play any more than they have to. They are all starting. Nobody's getting sat. Everybody's playing because there's not been anything put on the football field wearing a Texans uniform that has looked semi-cohesive since the opening kickoff of the first game. Like, there's been zero consistency throughout the season, with the exception of the fact that there has been zero consistency. They're consistently inconsistent.
Right.
So they're Eli Manning.
Yeah, basically. That is the perfect way to encapsulate this season. They are Eli Manning. I want to see a couple different things happen. Joe Mixon is 7 yards away from hitting 1,000 yards. 3 carries or less, get him to 7-8 yards or whatever. Sit him down and let Dameon Pierce run the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, and you got Nico pushing 1,000 also.
Nico's 32
I think he's like
yards
32.
away.
Yeah. So get them guys
catches, get him out. Build the reputation between Stroud and Deontay Johnson.
Or John Mechie, bro.
Well,
like John Mechie gets slept on, man. John Mechie was a stud at Alabama, but he had that cancer, or was it leukemia or whatever it was, that derailed his rookie season.
Well, and he tore his ACL in the national championship. Championship, but I digress. He needs to build Deontay Johnson. This is his 10th day with the team, so some sort of rhythm with him and CJ would be hugely beneficial.
Yeah.
What I think in a perfect world would happen if the Texans can indeed kind of treat this like a tune-up game, they score all of their points in the first half, and then the backups and whoever the Titans are still playing at that point, that's where the game has a little bit more back and forth. But I think the Texans come into this game with the first half mentality of all the starters being, fuck this, we got to get something put together for the playoffs.
Yeah, at least add some momentum with your starters. I'm 100% with you, bro.
So with that, All of Texans points are scored in the first half, 38-10.
Oh shit.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I
Like
bet
I
you
like
would.
in most weeks, I would rebuttal that, but I'm not going to. I pray to God that happens.
Pretty confident.
Like
Oh,
seriously. This was 2 weeks ago. I would have told you right of your mind. But this
Yeah.
week, yeah, I hope that happens.
yeah.
That's so funny that the three of us are all wanting to lose, and Curtis is the only one that wants to win.
That wants to win.
I want to win, but like it doesn't matter if we lose.
Yeah,
Right.
like you're going no matter what. So
Right. If the starters get pulled and they score 38 points and we still fucking lose the game, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it. The starters might have some momentum. I'm cool with that. That's all I give a shit about.
That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you need some momentum. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
I mean,
that's
you're
the
playing,
most
playing for
important thing for you guys.
nothing on a different level than we're playing for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. So, Mayr, we were talking earlier, depending on how this game goes, affects your draft spot. Let's say hypothetically you win this game and that puts you at pick 5 or 6. And Sam Bradford is not brought back in Minnesota.
Sam
Darnold. Would you oh yeah, sorry.
Everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Sam Darnold, not Sam Bradford. I was wondering why he was chuckling at me. I was like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Sam Bradford's been retired. Sam Darnold becomes available.
Bring him back.
Do you think that would be an amicable move? And then maybe with the 5 or 6 spot, you draft a tackle?
Well, the thing is, like with Darnold, I've always liked Darnold. I liked him when he came out. I liked him more than Mayfield. I liked him in Carolina. But the thing is just we are not the Vikings. We don't have an elite defense. We don't have, if not the best wide receiver in the world, the second best. We don't have a Jordan Atkinson. We don't have a TJ Hawkinson. We don't have a great offensive line. We don't have, at least at this point, a great coach. It's judgment is still out for Brian Callahan. So the thing is with Darnold, if he's out there, sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I would take him because I think that he's made us some good stuff. He can make all the throws, likable guy. But the thing is, getting Darnold, you're gonna have to pay him $40 million a year.
Oh yeah.
The thing
Yeah, the
is,
year he said
you're not set up right. You don't, because the thing is, if you get Darnold, you got to pay him $40 million a year. You can't fix all your holes in the draft. You still are gonna need an adequate right guard. You still need a tackle, which you can get that in the first 2 rounds. But you can't go get maybe a T. Higgins that you could if you just draft your quarterback. And then who's to say that Sam Darnold wasn't a 1-year wonder? Who's to say he's not Matt Flynn? That's a history lesson for you. So the thing is, you could pay Darnold, but you're not set up in the same way as maybe other teams are. Like maybe if Sam Darnold went to, shoot, I don't know, like let's say for instance, like if he went to Dallas some kind of way, that would never happen. But let's say for instance they trade Dak and got Sam Darnold. Okay, I could believe in that, but with the Titans, it's a lot. They have a lot more holes that I don't think that Sam Darnold is talented enough to cover for. He's not a top 5 quarterback. Now he's played like a top 10 quarterback this year for sure, but he's not a Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes that has not the greatest offense in the world this year. So signing Sam Darnold, cool. Would we be better? Yeah, we'd probably win about 6 or 7 games just with Sam Darnold. But the thing is, it straps you, and because you could use the $40 million and go get the 2 Tennessee boys. You can go get T. Higgins, grew up a Titans fan. You can go get Trey Smith. Same thing with him. I'd much rather have T. Higgins and Trey Smith than Sam Darnold. I think if you move back to 5, this is what you should do. I think that if you could trade to try to get JJ McCarthy because we saw what he did in the preseason. Now, is that the
bro,
end
you're
all
reading
be
my
all?
mind
No.
here.
He JJ
They're not
McCarthy
getting
might
that.
be trash, But if we lost, I would say, hey, go give Minnesota a second for JJ McCarthy, or maybe a fourth if they were willing. But they'd probably do a second, because they're gonna have to get rid of JJ McCarthy, because Sam Darnold is 28 years old, so he can
Yeah.
play for the next 8 years. So JJ McCarthy is pretty much going to be on the bench.
After
So
what Darnold's done, they're not getting rid of Darnold.
no, you're not. They're not going to get rid of Darnold. Like that.
No.
That's what I was going to say first. But since Curtis put that out there, I wanted to answer his question. But yeah, Sam Darnold is staying. So
Yeah.
I think if you move back to 5, 6, or 7, I think I would go after McCarthy, because he's young. He looked good in the preseason. You could build. I feel like that you could build around him. He obviously would be cheap.
And he came
Maybe
from a
you
pro
go get
style offense. So, he'd be ready.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any chance he's leaving.
No.
Who, McCarthy?
There's absolutely, I understand the sentiment, but there's absolutely zero reason with him being on a rookie deal, having a 5th-year option. There's absolutely zero reason to want to trade him.
Financially, it makes sense to keep him. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, absolutely, because Sam Darnold could be just a 1-year wonder. We don't know.
Because probably Harrison Smith probably retires after this year. That defense is going to look a little different next year. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I have seen reports of the Vikings saying that they're gonna. I mean, people inside the Vikings, not officially, but rumors saying that they are going to be shopping JJ McCarthy in the offseason.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I say that. That I've seen those same reports. That's why I say that. I don't think there's a chance. There's no way that you get a quarterback, you bring in a quarterback, and he wins you 14 games, possibly 15, and then you just let him walk.
No way.
Yeah, they're
not when the
there's
team
no
is
way.
hoisting you on their shoulders.
But
you don't.
so
do
my question though is, don't you think that JJ McCarthy's asking price is going to be super high considering how terrible the draft class is this year? And he was a first-round pick last year. Don't you think they're going to be asking for at least a first, if not a first?
I don't think his value has dropped much just because Darnold did well. I don't think that drops McCarthy's value too much. Now, yes, it did drop because you haven't seen him really do it.
Well, drop more because of the injury, not necessarily because he hasn't played. I mean, that's really it. But I mean, you pick him in the first round. He's still on a rookie contract, and the draft class this year is terrible for quarterbacks. Outside of potentially Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, who we have no clue really about because they played in weak conferences. My thing, and this is a hot take, and it shouldn't be, but it's a hot take, and everybody that I've said this to does. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are not top 10 picks if they don't play under Dion and first go to a D3 HBCU and then move into Colorado, who plays in literally the worst conference that's a Power 4. They didn't play a single top 6 team in their conference, and they lost to the team ranked behind them. Yeah. They did not play any, or they went 0-6 in their 2 years against Power 5 teams that were ranked in the top 25. They're not that good. Now, Travis Hunter, I think he's a better athlete overall than Shedeur Sanders is a quarterback. But Travis Hunter's small, so in the NFL, he's going to get bullied whether you put him at wide receiver or at corner. So Shedeur Sanders, outside of he played it for Colorado, and they didn't play any good teams, so he threw a lot of touchdowns. But Travis Hunter was making him look good most of the time. You see a lot of his passes are just toss-ups, and Travis Hunter is getting absolutely blown up by 2 different dudes in the air getting the ball. They're not that good. I think they're both great athletes, and I'm not trying to say they're not good. I don't think they're nearly as good as Deion Sanders and the hype of playing in the worst Power 4 conferences made them to be. Yeah. I don't think that taking any quarterback in this draft in the first round is worth it to me.
If I'm
really looking at it now, if there's a chance you could get JJ McCarthy and you don't have to give him a first round pick, absolutely, I would go for that. But my thing is, if you're the Titans, if I'm the Titans, especially if I think that I could potentially get trade somebody or do something to get a 3rd round pick, and Jackson Dart or somebody like that is there. Yeah. You could take a chance on a 3rd round pick, but you take Kelvin Banks if you win this game, move back a couple picks. You take Kelvin Banks or Will Campbell, whichever one you can get. If you could trade back and get Will Campbell, it's even better. Yeah. And then you take Tyler Booker out of Alabama, the guard. You shore up 2 different spots on the O-line. Potentially you can do something in the offseason. You move J.C. Latham to right tackle, whatever you want to do there. And then you either take a 2nd or 3rd round quarterback, or a 3rd or 4th round quarterback and try them, or you wait until next year. I just don't think that Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders gives them the possibility. And you still have the question mark of, is Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders going to pitch a fit if he goes to the Titans? Because that's not where they want him to play.
Yeah, I mean, Dion already
then-
said that when it
he's
comes to
already
Travis
said-
Hunter and Shador, he's going to tell them don't go.
He has already said if they get picked by a team that he doesn't want them to go to, or that they don't want to go to, that he is going to veto it and pitch a fit and cause a problem.
Yeah, I get it. Your son Shador, but Travis ain't your kid, bro. Come on.
I think Travis Hunter. I think once he gets drafted, I think he cuts ties with Dion. At least he's not going to have him as his agent like he has been.
Yeah.
I think that it's too much of a wild card taking. Cam Ward has a terrible attitude. I don't know.
I don't think Dion is, especially, what he was saying like on Twitter this week and things that have came out. I don't think that he would do that here though. I don't think he would do that here. But I do get the concern of that, and I think it's valid. I don't think that would be an issue here. Going back to JJ McCarthy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if we gave him a second, you got to think our second pick is 34. So you have a quarterback that most likely, if Sam Darnold keeps doing what he's doing, is never going to see the damn field. So if you could get an early second, as early as that, I can understand if it was a second round, but it was in the 50s. Maybe, nah, I don't want to do that. But
yeah, but you're talking about the 202, the 34th overall? Hell yeah, I'd give up that for JJ McCarthy if I'm the Titans.
Yeah, if I was the Vikings and I've already got a 15-win team, and you just talked about Harrison Smith possibly retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for instance, the Vikings win a Super Bowl. I don't think they are, but maybe they do. They definitely got a shot. So you're already gonna have your first at 32, and then you've got another pick at 34, which is pretty much a first round pick too.
Yeah, 2 away. Come on.
I would do it. Like if I was the Vikings and I won the Super Bowl, and Sam Darnold is going to be my guy for the next at least 4 or 5 years, and I've already won my Super Bowl, and I've got like a valuable trade piece that I'm not playing. I'm gonna get basically 2 first round picks, and I've already won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But then you also have to count on though teams like the Colts or other teams that aren't sure about their quarterbacks not being willing to give up a middle first round pick or a late first round pick.
That is very true.
Because
that's a great
there's
point.
A couple teams that are fringe playoff teams that might be getting rid of their quarterback or are looking for somebody else as another option that might be able to be willing to give up a late first round for him. Because he was a first round talent.
If the Colts were, let's say, for instance, the Colts win the game between you guys, and the Colts are saying, hey, we'll give you round 117 for JJ McCarthy. Then obviously for the Vikings, I'm just saying if nobody but the Titans offered that, then take it. But yeah, if you have a earlier first round pick, oh, absolutely, yeah, no doubt about that. But if I'm the Titans, and if I get
but second round is the price. I mean, that's a good price for a quarterback that could be a really good player in the National Football League.
Well, and think about the strategy on that too. If the Vikings trade to the Titans for that 34th overall pick, one, you get a high draft pick at end of day one on Thursday night, and then you got all night to regroup, all day to regroup until that second round starts, and you just got to worry about one pick in front of you on day two. So come Friday afternoon, you're waiting 7 minutes. You've got all night, all day to figure out, okay, boom, we've got whoever our first round guy is, right? And now we've got some time to step back, think about who we want to get at the second pick on day two.
And you don't even have a glaring weakness on your team. You have a great defense. You got good quarterback play. You've got the best wide receiver in the league. You've got a pretty solid number two.
Or
you have great defense. So
you just talked about Harrison Smith leaving. Take that 34th overall, trade back in, and try and go get Malachi Starks.
You could do that.
It's a pretty good safety class. I don't think you'd even need to, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I don't
but
think
quarterbacks, man, it sucks for teams that need quarterbacks.
Yeah, the quarterback class is so bad.
And Tennessee, I mean, it could go either way. Like Will Levis, he has intangibles like you talked about, and I agree with you 100%. Like he looks like a NFL style quarterback, but man, the way it goes, we talked about it earlier. It's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, he's just not going to work out here. I mean, honestly, it is not going to surprise me if he goes somewhere else and he plays much better.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I just think in this particular offense, it's not that, I think Shador is Jake Daniels last year or even Caleb Williams last year, right? It's not that I just necessarily think that. I just think that his style of play is what Brian Callahan. I feel like he's the type of quarterback that would fit the offense well. Not that he's just going to be this generational quarterback. I don't think any of us know that,
Yeah.
but I could see his style of play working more than Cam Moore. I could be completely wrong. I'm not no expert. I do not work for PFF. That is just what I see, and it's just my opinion. But yeah, if we win. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for what you said, getting Tyler Booker in the second round, but we need a pass rush too. That's the thing. We need a lot of different things,
Yep.
and our pass rush was non-existent this year. I thought Jeffrey Simmons hasn't not been worth his contract. He's too busy charging at podcasters and friends of mine and stuff like that during the offseason, telling people nobody runs on the Tennessee Titans, and the next game the team runs for over 200 yards. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's just there's so many holes. The only good thing that I think the Titans got going for them right now, I think they're gonna have a better secondary than what they did last year because Snead was hurt. Brownlee was a 5th-round draft pick, turned out to be pretty good. I think their secondary is in good shape for the next couple years. But other than that, um, it's not looking good, and they can fix it quickly if you get the right quarterback in and you add a couple pieces. They can turn it around, but in the grand scheme of things, they've got a lot of they've got a lot of holes. But if you can get the right quarterback in, let's say Shador or Cam is Jaden Daniels, I mean, they can fix a lot of stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, they got a lot of holes. So we're not in a good position. We just should not have. And I was so mad when we got Will Levis a couple years ago because we still needed to fix the team. We still needed a right tackle. We needed a left tackle. There's a lot of things that we needed. There was no. I didn't want to draft any quarterback the year. I didn't want to draft Hendon Hooker. I didn't want to draft Will Levis. I didn't want Anthony Richardson. I didn't want CJ. I didn't want CJ Stroud like at all. And I think Stroud was good his rookie year. This year, not so much, which I kind of saw that coming. But I just thought that we needed to fix the team, and then the next year, let's go. We could have got Jaden Daniels last year, and that didn't happen.
Yep. Got more holes than Camp Green Lake.
Yep. Facts.
Well, all Tennessee's got to do is just get this ass whooping this week.
Yeah, that's all we need. And then we unfortunately we do have to draft. They don't have a choice but to get the quarterback. Like
Yeah.
with Brian Callahan. See, it'd be different if Brian Callahan maybe had won 6 games because you'd be keeping Will Levis. So
Yeah.
even if you won 6 games, you had a top 10 pick, then oh yeah, we're fixing the line. Or maybe we could get an Abdul Carter where that probably fixes your pass rush or at least makes it better. So
Yeah.
you'd be in a better position. But no, we only won 3 games. So he doesn't have like another year to spare. So he's got to get the quarterback, and once he gets the quarterback, he's got to win like 6 or 7 games to keep his job. Like he's in a messed up position because of Will Levis wanking off with the ball the first couple games of the year.
Yeah.
Screwed up everything.
Yeah. Well, look, I think this is a good spot to go ahead and wrap it up. Guys, please go follow Mayr across all things Midtown Mayr on Twitter. Follow Kingmaker at Kingmaker_DFF across all the social medias. Subscribe, notification bell on all of his stuff. Do the same thing on all of Mayor's stuff. Trying to help these two gentlemen grow. Do the same thing here while you're at it and feeling, clicky. Clicks, like, subscribe, notification bell. Go over to Third and Teal. Support Isaiah's channel as they near 300 subscribers.
There we go.
Be first. Would be the first of all of the team specific pods to get that mark.
Heck yeah.
And go check out Unstable as well. Titans Takeaways, That Real Texas Team podcast. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Without any further ado, folks, thank you for watching. Guys, thank you for coming on and talking ball with me. And be good people.
Peace.
Peace.
Fuck the Colts.
Fuck the Colts.
Fuck you.